How's everyone doing? Doing great. 68, no, 34. Yeah. 34 yards? That's it. Gosh, it's horrible. Huh? That's it. Not too much out there, huh?
Hey, when we needed it, you got the most important one.
Oh, man.
You got the most important yard, though, brother.
Yeah, you got us there, man. You got us there, man.
Yes, we have Coach Nolan, running back Toa Tala, and quarterback Bryce Perkins available. Coach wants to sit down and over the stage.
Okay. Well, look, that was a heck of a ball game, as you all well know. I thought that Arlington's players and coaches did an outstanding job of playing for us. They played an outstanding game. They had a heck of a game plan, both sides of the ball in all the phases. And my hat's off to them. I have a tremendous amount of respect for them. They really played well. They executed well. They had great patience throughout the game. I thought their fans did a good job. They got excited a lot in the game, and you could hear them. I thought they did a good job there. Luis, quarterback, I don't know what else, he did a great job. He did very well. Tyler Barnes, the wide receiver, I didn't know he was capable of that, but we do now. He played very well. I thought their team did a great job. I'm really proud of our guys, the resiliency that they showed, their ability to stick in it the entire time. And it wasn't so much the scoreboard would be the thing to get you off, but in particular on the defensive side of the ball, we really weren't on all cylinders. I mean, we were not that good, but they stuck with it regardless. I thought that Colin Ballard, our defensive coordinator, did a good job of not changing the problem, as I call it. What I mean by that is he stuck with the game plan, and we just had to start playing better than we were. Made a couple minor adjustments, but outside of that, he did a very good job. I know it's not one of his favorite ball games because we didn't really slow him down that much, but we won the ball game, so there was enough there to do that. B.T. Potter's 56-yard field goal. I don't know where it stands in anything. I was told it was the longest of the outside door field goals for the UFL, if it is or not. But a huge kick that he made, that was great for us. And then these two on either side of me, again, 2 weeks in a row, these two individuals have just played lights out. And so really proud of both of them. And after that, any questions?
Okay, we'll open up to questions in the room.
Ron Murray, K104. Coach Nolan, when you get a win like this late in the season, like final play of the game, you get the W, how does that help you with the postseason right around the corner?
Well, obviously the victory, because it's the standings have a lot to do with getting that extra game, so that's huge. But the way we got it, I think, speaks to the type of players that we have on our football team from, like I said, a resiliency standpoint. They never quit, they keep playing, and we've got some very good players as well. So to me, it kind of solidifies that. But we also need to know, and I think our players recognize this. I mean, when you start winning more games, just like anybody in our league, I mean, people come out there and they play their best game. They don't just show up and say, yeah, we'll just take what comes. In this league, everybody's competitive. These guys want to win, and that's what we saw today. We saw a team that was extremely competitive, we felt it.
And Bryce, also, you've been having a stellar year. You're in a lot of conversations for the MVP. So how's it feel to be in those discussions and also just talk to the offense's persistence today to get the win?
Yeah, I mean, it's all glory to God, man. I mean, it's amazing, what this team can do, how close we are and how we all strive for a common purpose and goal. And it's great to be in those conversations, but, without those guys, on the offense, rallying behind, made a late game turnover, right, and all those guys resilient and just ready to roll to the next one, right, and it takes a village, and we do a great job of feeding off each other, and I'm just blessed to be able to be a part of this team with these guys, and when we need to play late, it shows what kind of team we are. Guys are making plays, guys are getting open, and it's fun. Those games are fun. After everything that went on that game, it was kind of a weird game, a lot of chaos, and couldn't be more proud of those guys, and excited, and I'm glad that we were able to finish it off.
Coach Anthony Miller, All Football Digest. It definitely feels like this team I guess compared to last year, it feels like you guys are kind of the front runners to win the UFL title. How different does this team feel from what you had last season?
Wow. You know what? If you don't mind, I'd really like to hear what these two guys say. They were on the teams. If you don't mind, can I do that? I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. What's the difference you feel?
You know, I think the guys believe. I think, you know, when you believe and you're able to pull out wins like that, you go into every game with a confidence knowing that no matter what kind of game it has to be, you will be able to compete and execute to a point where we can come out victorious. And, you know, last year we were close. It wasn't, you know, like we were kind of at the bottom, right? And I think for teams, the biggest thing from one year to the next is, do you improve or do you get worse? And I feel from last year to this year, we just kept getting better and kept getting better on all cylinders. And, you know, a lot of guys came back, too, on the offensive side, you know. So once you keep coming back, you know, year after year, you get more familiar. And I came here last year with, like, 5 weeks left. But, you know, it shows a testament to the team of, you know, coming in and welcoming me in and just kind of keep building off last year's success and fix little areas here and there. And, you know, this year we're just building off it. So, you know, the year's not over, so by no means, you know, have we won anything, right? So we just got to keep going and come back next week ready to work.
Yeah, man, just like picking off what Bryce said, man, just being where our feet is at and, you know, taking the season on play by play, day by day. And, you know, there's a lot that we left out there today, a lot that we can learn from. And, you know, I'm just proud to be a part of this, you know, these moments like this. And, you know, for the guys trusting me and having faith. And there's never a dull moment in the game. You know, we all looked at each other and said, you know, we're going to get another op here and we're going to capitalize, you know, just be ready. And, you know, it's one of those times where you just look at each other in the huddle and, man, let's go win this ball game.
Anything else in the room for the guys? Otherwise, we can go to Zoom. One more. Okay.
Toa, Jimmy Jai, 210 Sports. Right after the game, you mentioned how you had a lot of love for Bryce. Speak to how the guys being so close as far as the camaraderie goes and how it helps y'all in tight situations like today.
Oh, man, just, you know, Bryce is a tremendous leader on this team, and, you know, we all feed off him. We all pick up off him, and, you know, like I said earlier, it's one of those times where you look at Bryson in the huddle and you're like, yeah, I got this guy. He got me, man. Let's go work. And, you know, that didn't just start, you know, overnight. That happened Monday at practice, Tuesday at practice, and, you know, he's just feeding into the guys, man, and his energy is contagious, man. So I love playing with Bryce as my quarterback, man. He's, you know, he makes my job a lot easier.
And Bryce, for you, your time with the Rams, how did that time with the Rams help you out this season and in the UFL in general? And what kind of things did you learn that you've took from that time there?
Yeah, I mean, my time with the Rams was definitely special. I've learned a lot about ball, about life. And to be in a room, you know, first with Jared Goff, then Matthew Stafford, the way they compete, you know, the way they trust their guys, the way they, you know, no matter what, you know, when they go out there, you know, the team has faith in that they'll be able to, you know, compete to the very end. You know, win, lose, or draw, they're going to compete and leave it all out there. And sitting back and being able to watch those guys definitely has allowed me to, you know and see what it looks like to be a true competitor at the quarterback level, you know, at the highest level too. So, you know, one of the best offenses, best head coaches in the league to be able to learn from, sit back for a couple of years and learn from. You know, I think I'm a better player, but I'm also a better person too for my time and all the trials and tribulations. You definitely appreciate everything along your journey, and I'm glad that, you know, Coach, you know, gave me a shot, you know, last year to come in here, and then I told him last year that, you know, the love, you know, for the game definitely came back, and I was, you know, excited to come back. So, got to keep rolling and you know, keep playing for these guys, and you know, everything else is gonna take care of itself.
We have a couple questions on Zoom. We'll start with James Larson.
Hey, Coach. congrats on the win. I want to talk a little bit about up front. I mean, you've lost so many pieces this year. Walter Palmore goes down. We saw T.J. Carter really active with his hands. Kenny Willick is in the backfield. Can you talk about those two guys and just what you saw from the defensive line today?
Yeah, I thought that Kenny and TJ both did a real good job. It was, on the back end, we weren't doing a very good job as far as denying balls and things like that. They continued to move down the field. We're having a really tough job from the secondary, especially in particular on the outside. But the front, I thought picked it up at the end, and did a better job. Look, the only thing I will say is they had to earn most all their scores. I think there was 4 field goals they kicked before they scored a touchdown, and that helped us immensely. And that was an overall defensive effort when that occurs. But the fact they kept them out of the end zone early was big. Obviously, late in the game, they got a couple scores, and we had to match those. But, as a whole, like I said, I thought that was key for us being able to come back at the end of the game.
And then to follow up on that, obviously, like you said, some of those defensive penalties really hurt, especially in that second half. 8 defensive penalties or 56 yards that allowed 5 first downs, continuing drives for Arlington. What kind of went on there, and how frustrating was that, defensively to see that happen?
Well, James, you said what went on there. You're right. That's what I was asking. What's going on here when it was going on? But I thought it was a lot more than 56 yards myself. The thing that hurt was that it was a 2nd and 21 time defensive holding. It was 3rd down several times. I haven't looked yet to see what the 3rd down was, but it can't be very good. It didn't look very good. They continued to convert over and over again. But again, a lot of that credit goes to them. I thought Luis Perez, look, I knew going into the game he's a really good quarterback. He's probably as far as throwing the ball, he's as good as the guys in our league. He does a great job, and he was successful today. He was, and like I said, Tyler Barnes was also very successful. He did a nice job. So we got things to work on. That's for sure.
We'll wrap up with Alan on Zoom.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, and I want to kind of ask this to each one of you. This game seemed to have a lot of ebb and flows. Emotionally, can you talk about how nerve-wracking this game was playing in it?
Sure you can.
Not necessarily nerve-wracking, when mistakes happen, but you're playing well. It's just a matter of time. It's just little things here and there. It's just fixing up the little mistakes. They did a good job. We shot ourselves in the foot, a few times. So you still have confidence when things like that happen because a play here, a play there, and things could be different. So how do you regroup and, continue to put together drives, drive after drive, no matter what happens? And, kind of just, it's kind of like life, too, as well. Things appear in your life sometimes just don't go right. It may just not be your day some days, but how do you keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep persisting, because, it's never over until it hits 0 on the clock, and as long as you're up and moving and rolling, you have an opportunity to course correct and continue to fight on.
Yeah, man. It's like I said earlier, just I never do a moment on the sideline, unwavering faith, walk by faith, not by sight. And, we kept that going throughout the whole game. They did a good job on that side, controlling the ball. So we knew on the offensive side is, we're not going to get too many, possessions. But when we do, we got to make the most of our opportunity and go answer. So, shout out to the defense for making plays. Shout out to the, O-line, Bryce, the receivers. Coach Nolan, man, he doing the thing. So, yeah, man, it's a great team win.
Thanks all. That'll wrap up.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, John, I can't see where it is.
You first. He's so good.